Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Honorable members of Governing Council, Chairman, Secretary General, National Office Bearers, and the members of CAPSI. It is a matter of pride for me to share my views to this August gathering on biological threats and role of private security agencies and service takers. Before I talk of biological threats, let's understand why does a business establishment need security? It is based on threat and risk involved. Normally, before we carry out any deployment, a detailed threat analysis is carried out. It depends on some of the parameters I just talk are say fire, theft, fraud, cyber threat, whether it is a data or hacking, and crowd management in case of mall, hospitals, or some event like cricket match is taking place. However, what we have noticed is of late a new type of threat is emerging, that is biological threat, and it has shown a devastating effect on our life, on our social fabric, on our economy, both personal economy as well as national economy. So this is one threat for which we are not catered for, and it has got a tremendous and worst effect on every facet of our life. Having said so, I will use try to understand two known biological threats which all of us have noticed. One is COVID and black fungus. COVID-19, we have seen the way it has grown, the way it has spread. Last year it was different. This year the way it has spread is different. And the vaccination is going on. But how long will this vaccination last? Whether it will last for 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, we do not know. And it is mutating. New variants are coming every now and then. So we have to tackle with different variants. And we got to keep adapting ourselves, be dynamic, keep changing ourselves. And third thing is, the whole world need to be vaccinated because it travels. We have seen the kind of variants which were there in South Africa and UK came to India, or the kind of variant which is there in India, it is going abroad. So the whole world need to be vaccinated. Therefore, we have no idea how long this threat is going to persist, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, or next year it may come with a worse ferocity with a different kind of variant. So we have no idea. We need to live with it, we need to plan for it, we need to think for it. Other thing which is coming up is the black fungus. We have been hearing in the news, on lots of WhatsApp messages are there, videos are there, that this is when the diabetes and COVID is combined and steroids are given, then the immune system becomes weak and this black fungal strikes. What security people can do is identify the places from where the black fungus is spreading. Wherever they are deployed, they can identify the damp places, wherever this kind of fungal thing is there, whether it is inside the building or outside the building, near some pond, near some garden, near some culvert or bench, and they need to highlight that and have it clean. They are the best people to identify. Other thing which is coming up is probably use of inferior or reused oxygen cylinders. Again, the security people should assist the health workers in checking that right kind of equipment is used. This dictates, both COVID and black fungus, dictates that we as a PSI or security organization or security professionals have identified these two threats. We need to propagate this. We need to work on it. And because our people are exposed, we need to make sure that our people who are on the front line everywhere and they are 24/7 deployed in vulnerable areas are protected. At the same time, as a PSI, it is our responsibility that wherever we are deployed, that premises or that venture, that corporate house is protected from all kinds of threats, including biological. Having visualized the threat, CAPSI has signed MOU with International Security Industry Organization, also called ISIO. All of you are aware. The details were shared with you all. The purpose of this MOU is to join forces in uplifting and educating all members on secure COVID-19 protocols for an active biological threat. All of us know that the private security industry is bigger than Army, Air Force, Navy, Police combined together. 9 million in India is not small numbers. And we are helping health workers, hospitals and government for implementation of COVID-19 protocols. We are in forefront. We have adapted ourselves to new norm. We are taking temperatures. We are enforcing the guidelines. We are telling people to wear masks, whether it is in the mall, in the hospital, or in the residential area, or in the market, wherever they are. Before you enter any shop, they sanitize your hands, they take your temperature, they tell you to wear mask. Those kinds of things are being done, and he is being exposed. He is exposed there. And the fact is that we, security agencies, are doing it. But the projection is less. In the next costing, probably we'll have to include this factor because our workers are at risk. They are in the front line. They are exposed. He does not know that this fellow is affected by COVID. Once he goes to the doctor is fully covered, wearing PPE kit, gloves, everything, and then he checks that this is COVID-19 patient, and then he does once he realizes COVID-19, different kind of protocols are followed. But our security guard does not know this. There is just need to have a common protocols which all of us follow, for which CAPSI has signed MOU with ISIO to ensure that the uniformity is there, there's a quality is there, there's a standard protocols are there, and which should match with the protocols laid down by the government. Because the new technologies are coming. Our guards need to adapt them, whether it is the temperature taking, whether the remote temperature taking, or new kind of equipment, and the way a virus is mutating. We know that different kind of new technologies will come, and our security guard has to be trained for that. He has to adapt himself to that, and there is a cost factor involved. We need to project this. We need to highlight this. Chairman has done that. He has written and highlighted this case right up to the Prime Minister, Home Minister, Health Minister, and the state health ministers and secretaries. Everywhere we have projected our case that the private security industry is doing a human service during this pandemic and has been instrumental in helping the health ministry, health workers in containing the spread of COVID. We need to note this. We need to make it a point that we are spending additional money. Our jawans are, our guards are exposed, and we are giving them vaccination. We are making sure that they are vaccinated. We are taking all precautions. One more thing we need to highlight is that this security protocol or COVID protocol for biological threats would be different for different places. They will be different for factories, they will be different for malls, different for hospitals or shopping complexes, residential areas or old age home or community center. or for wherever any big event is taking place. So we need to tell people that in security industry, while providing the all kind of security, need to plan for this. It is not that okay, it is applicable. Same thing is applicable everywhere. And again, as I mentioned earlier, that use of technology, our people need to adapt themselves. Another thing which has been noticed is during this COVID time, at times the crowd become aggressive. Somebody has died in the hospital or something has happened, they're not happy with the treatment, and suddenly the crowd comes, they become aggressive, they start start breaking things or start manhandling. That is the time again the security people are exposed. They're trying to control. They're totally, exposed to this kind of situation where we do not know who is a COVID patient or the kind of thing that people who have come in large numbers. There's a threat to the life of these our security guards. During last pandemic, last year, and during this time, one thing we noticed that people stopped visiting the commercial premises, offices, and it has a great impact on profitability of the business venture. Of course, all of us have felt it because wherever we are deployed, our people are deployed. If their work is stopped, we have observed it that there's no work, no profit, and then for what you are working? For what a businessman is working? He is working for revenue. He is working for profit. That is his livelihood. And once that is not working because of biological threat, the people are not visiting. That is why there is a requirement for them to understand that they need to implement the COVID-19 protocols as suggested jointly by the ISIO and CAPSI so that their premise is safe, it is certified, a certification is given, the assessor trained by the jointly by the CAPSI and ISIO gives them the proper certificate after this thing so that the people feel safe to visit their premises. It increases their business, it increases the work, and they don't lose man hours. Because wherever you need people to work, you need a secure environment. Otherwise, you are losing customer, you are losing man hours because of sickness or because of lockdown, and you are losing revenue. You are losing footfalls. It has a compounding effect. So we need to, as a PSI, while doing the threat analysis, we need to tell them that this biological threat has got this impact, and if they adapt this, then the people will feel safe to visit them, they will be able to become more profitable and their revenue generation will be better. Therefore, it is necessary that all members must understand the protocols related to biological threat. And there is a 5 booklet which is there, and there are 3 kinds of certification. One is for the training, where you can train the people for biological threat, you can train your team. Second is assessor certificate, and third is COC compliance. The whichever venue is there, which is business venture is there, if that certificate is there, that means that they are following all the protocols related to COVID-19 and their premise is safe to visit. These are some of the things I thought I'll share my views on this. And this threat is so important, and we all need to work together, work jointly, and rise to the occasion and prove that private security industry can deliver and can protect the nation, the economy, and the business establishments from all kinds of threats. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.